Sonic the Hedgehog. You know him, you may or may not love him. Personally, I'm a tad bit of a fan. Sonic has had a massive impact on my life. Sonic might have been the first game I have ever played. I can't exactly fact check that, but you know. Hey, before I continue, I just want to say thank you for the recent support. I completely forgot to say anything in my last video, but that TF2 video more than doubled my previous sub count. And the support has just been insane. Almost every comment has been people trying to help me, besides a couple. So I just want to say thank you. And yes, there will be another. I just gotta actually, you know, play the game. Also, I have made a second channel, Done Canon Live. I'm going to be posting all of my stream highlight videos. Basically anything before the Portal review and this video. That kind of video is going to be posted on there. 3 videos as of writing, actually 4 videos as of recording, wow, have been uploaded. And they're easily the best stream highlight videos I've ever made. And I plan to upload a lot more. Writing reviews and general talk in videos is fun, but it takes time. So if you want more of me, go subscribe like a boss. Anyways, growing up I was always into late gaming. My first console was a PlayStation 2. We had games like Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, which I loved because it had the Django Fett unlockable skin, and the most important and my favorite game, Sonic Mega Collection Plus. I'm sure we had more games, but those are the ones I actually remember. I loved that game. I played it day in, day out. After school, playing Sonic. After soccer practice, Sonic. After hanging out with friends, Sonic. I loved that game. I don't know what it was. It's not like I was particularly good at it. In fact, I don't think I ever really got past the first 2 levels in any of the games. But everything about that game, the music, the games, the presentation, it was just amazing. I remember talking to my sister late at night, and my sister told me that my dad had beat Sonic 1, and I thought he was the coolest person ever because of that. Very quickly, I became the Sonic kid. All I would do is talk about my favorite video games, which happened to be Sonic. God, this is embarrassing. Used to roleplay in the playground with my friends, and I would often pretend to be Sonic or Tails. Yeah, I was one of those kids. I even had someone who I thought was a bully come up to me and ask me for a drawing of Sonic. I don't think I ever actually gave it to him though, so if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I had a Sonic backpack and a Sonic lunchbox. Yeah, I was the cool kid in class. There used to be an upload of the entire Sonic OVA on YouTube. I'm not a big movie rewatching guy. Once I see a movie, I never really feel the need to watch it again for like 5 years, but I watched that damn OVA so many times. I remember one time my family was over for dinner, and instead of hanging out with them, I redrew the cover of the Sonic OVA. Now that I'm thinking about it, I did very similar stuff like that all the time. One time my family took a trip out to another state to go into a cabin, and I spent the entire time watching Ben 10. There might be something wrong with me. I bet you're sitting here asking yourself, Done Canon, you keep talking about this funny little character, but what is your favorite Sonic game? Well, actually, I plan on making an entire video on that, but the short answer is Sonic Adventure 1. I bet you're also asking, what is your favorite Sonic song? Literally any song from Frontiers. I think Undefeatable is the best throughout, Find Your Flame has the best chorus, and Break Through It All is the most hype. Another question you might have is, Done Canon, what is your least favorite Sonic game? First off, chill with the damn questions. Second off, I would say Forces if I ever have actually played it. Ignore the fact that at one point I had made an entire video talking about it. Shut up. If we're keeping it to mainline games, I'd have to say Sonic CD. That game is just shite. I doubt anyone has been following my channel long enough to know about this, except maybe close friends, but at one point I was a Sonic plush YouTuber. I made a series called Sonic Synergy, where I had Sonic characters fight the bad guys, who I think were Mario, Batman, and Metal Sonic. Unfortunately, none of those videos actually exist anymore. At some point I was so embarrassed to continue making them, so I just deleted all of them. Actually, one of my biggest regrets in life. Actually, one of my old friends that I had when I was making those videos is now a very popular Sonic Plus YouTuber. I'm not going to name drop him, but I'm really happy that his channel is doing well. Big thumbs up. My first Sonic game was obviously Sonic Mega Collection Plus, as I have mentioned, but some other late epic video jamming I have done is... That is the worst way I could have fucking put that. Other Sonic games that I've played are Sonic Unleashed, specifically for the Wii. I have played it on Xbox, but when I was a kid, my dad brought home Sonic Unleashed after he was done with work, and we had a Wii at the time. Just shout out to my dad for buying Peak Gaming. Speaking of Peak Gaming, I loved Sonic Generations. I have to admit something. I'm sorry that it had to come to light like this, but I fucking suck at video games. For almost all of my time on planet Earth, I have never really been able to beat many video games. I've spent thousands of hours playing games, but I've beaten few. So when I was a kid and I managed to beat Sonic Generations, a game with a playtime of like 2 hours, you better believe I was hyped. Unfortunately, I used to take the worst care of my things, so that disc was so scratched up that it eventually became unplayable. But at least I beat it, I guess. The big game for me when I was a kid was Sonic Adventure 1. Once again, I'll be going more in depth with it in my video all about it, but I really enjoyed it as a kid. Also SA2, but I remember getting frustrated a lot because of the mech and treasure stages. I remember I finally beat the hero side story and I started the villain side and got to a Rouge treasure hunting stage and just got so annoyed that I stopped and never went back. It was Headquarters, by the way, for those who are curious. I do have a vague memory of playing the space stages Rouge, but that may just be me misremembering things. I don't know. I also had Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, which I fucking adored that game. I remember playing the demo of Transformed, which damn, I really wish more games had demos. I think it should actually just be a requirement so people can have a look at the game and actually know if they want to buy it, but that's a whole different discussion. I think I played the most as Tails because he's always been my favorite Sonic character. You know, I just realized I spent this entire video talking about Sonic without actually going into the series and why I actually like it. The first thing I feel like I should talk about is the characters of Sonic the Hedgehog. The characters of Sonic the Hedgehog have been an interesting part of the series. A lot of hate has been thrown to Sega for the sheer amount of characters in the Sonic universe. Like, Big the Cat? More like throw it in the trash. Mighty the Armadillo? More like mighty stupid character. Vector the Crocodile? More like Vec, don't have him. Blaze the Cat. You get the point. People really just don't like the inclusion of all these side characters for one reason or another. But personally, I mean, have you been watching this video? It's pretty clear that I would like them, so yeah, I think the inclusion of all these different side characters has only improved the Sonic series. It allows the world to feel far more diverse and interesting. Everybody has their own favorite character or a character they can attach themselves to. If you're a big fucking nerd, you'll like Tails. If you're edgy for no reason, Shadow may be your guy. If you like late epic kawaii anime, Deku, then Espio is up your alley. What I'm trying to say is that the wide, diverse cast of Sonic has allowed people to get attached to so many different characters and has allowed people to enjoy different parts of the universe. A lot of people are more interested in the characters of Sonic the Hedgehog so much that they don't even play the games themselves. They just read the books, which if you haven't read the IDW Sonic comic run, you should go do that. Another thing I really like about Sonic that is just as, if not more controversial than the characters themselves, is the fan base. Wait, you're talking about the cringe Chris-chan roleplay OC furry fart pyrocynical reference fan base? Yeah, maybe not those specific things. I mean, I guess you can keep like the roleplay and OC part. It's not like innately bad. But what I mean is that, yeah, Sonic fans have a terrible rep. Yeah, admittedly, there's a lot of weird people in the fandom. But like, come on, every fan base has its bad eggs. It just happens that our bad eggs happens to get insanely popular for drawing a Sonic X Pokemon self-insert comic. But why do I actually like the Sonic fan base? Because I believe wholeheartedly that the Sonic fan base might be the most talented fan base on the internet. The Sonic community is full of such a diverse set of people. We got artists, musicians, game makers, other things that I can't think of right now. Sonic has this magical ability to draw people in like no other franchise. By being such a different video game franchise, because of the fact that Sega is constantly changing what it wants for Sonic, it allows all sorts of people to connect with Sonic. Like with Mario, right? When you play a Mario game, you know what you're gonna get. You got 2D platformers and 3D platformers and other things, but those are side games, whatever. So when you go see a new Mario game release, you can tell what it's going to be like. With Sonic, you cannot tell at all. Even in these same series, like the adventure games, they are incredibly different. Sure, they're similar in some parts, but even like the Sonic stages are different. With SA1 focusing on a wide open playground and levels, and SA2 focusing on shit levels. If you pick two random Sonic games, let's say Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Heroes. Those are perhaps the most different games ever. The only similar thing is that you play as a blue hedgehog, or let's say Sonic Lost World and Sonic and the Black Knight. That's probably even more different than the other one. What I'm getting at is, due to the fact that Sega is bipolar as fuck, everyone can go, I like this interpretation of Sonic. You don't really know what you're gonna get into, or even if it's gonna be good, unfortunately. Remember when Sonic kissed girl Humane girl? Wasn't that just like, not good? Remember how game was bowed? Lay Sonic A6, A16 house. I lost the point of what I was saying very quickly. The reason why the Sonic community is so good is because it has such a diverse set of people who all just so happen to like this funny blue hedgehog who runs really fast. One of the most acclaimed parts of the Sonic franchise is its music. Music with Sonic the Hedgehog is probably, it is my favorite video game music of all time. Name a video game song, and I'll give you a Sonic song that's better. The music of Sonic is the one constant that this series has. No matter the game, no matter how bad it is, it will always have a banger soundtrack. Even the bad game, Sonic 06, it has one of the best soundtracks in the series. Sonic's use of what people call butt rock, I don't know why it's called that, but apparently that's the term. Songs like Live and Learn, It Doesn't Matter, Open Your Heart, shaped an entire generation of Sonic fans. There's underrated songs like Fight the Night, Seven Rings in a Hand, Free, songs from games that nobody remembers besides Black Knight. People have switched up and now say that game is good. I don't know if it is. I was blessed with Sonic and the Secret Rings as a kid. You even have chill ass music. Look at the entirety of the Sonic R soundtrack, which if you want to talk about underrated, holy god, Sonic R's music is good. Even the level music is good. Ice Cap Zone, Pumpkin Soup, Metal Harbor, all bangers. And as I have mentioned earlier, Sonic's music is at perhaps an all-time high with Sonic Frontiers. All of Sonic Frontiers' vocal music is fire. They even got my boy Nate Wants to Battle in that chant. Also, another underrated OST, Sonic Heroes. I really like the song We Can. If you have watched my channel, then you have inadvertently listened to Sonic music. I use it as background music all the time, specifically on Dun Cannon Live. A lot of the music that I use is Sonic music. My outro is Sonic music, for Christ's sake, on both channels. I don't know if you can tell, but I really like Sonic. Even my boy, Sonic Adventure 1 has god tier music. What I'm getting at is, Sonic's music is not only integral to its brand, but was integral to me when I was a kid. I'll have to admit, when I was a kid, I wasn't really into music. I was one of those kids who was more into like gaming music more than, I don't know, normal music, whatever the fuck you call it. I remember saying something along the lines of, why would I want to listen to music when I could be playing video games? Yeah, I was kind of Sigma like that. Obviously, I'm not like that anymore. I listen to normal people music. I listen to this really indie artist. You might not know him. The same as Tyler the Creator, but the music I did listen to as a kid was often Sonic music. I remember me and my friend sitting on the floor of my room listening to All Hail Shadow. There were some songs that I did like as a kid, like Pumped Up Kicks. You can imagine my horror when I found out what that song was about as a small child. Sonic music has had a very big impact on my life. I don't think the series and I would be the same without it. If you're new to Sonic and you're looking for some OST recommendations, listen to Sonic 06 OST, Sonic R's, and Sonic Frontiers. They're fucking cheesy as fuck, but damn, they go hard, you know? I think I can wrap up the video here. I don't think I'm missing anything. Music, characters, fan base. What else is there to Sonic? Oh yeah. The Sonic movies. Alright, I'll talk about the games. Sonic had a rough transition into 3D, is what I would say if I was fucking stupid. Sonic games rock. Sonic games are something that get unnecessary amounts of hate. Are there some stinkers? Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that Sonic has some banger video games. You got the classic Sonic games, excluding CD. You got the adventure games, even though I've been shitting on SA2, it's still a pretty good game. You got Sonic Heroes, yeah, I'm one of the cool people who like Sonic Heroes. The Advance series, Sonic Rush, Sonic Unleashed, Generations, Mania, Frontiers. Like, these are some good games here. But we can't just let a certain game die. And another certain game. I've talked about how the Sonic series has constant changes in its formula. which is true, but a lot of the different ones end up being good. My favorites are obviously Adventure. I think Sonic is the best when he's in the style of Adventure 1. It just feels really good to play. I also love the boost formula. While I am glad that Sonic Team is taking the franchise in a new direction, I still really enjoyed those games. Even Lost World had some potential. I think if they kept that style of games, there may have been some banger video games on our hands. But Lost World itself is just mid. One of my new favorites, and what could definitely become my new #1 favorite, is the open zone formula. I really fucking loved Sonic Frontiers. It was one of my favorite games in recent memory. I think it's probably my second favorite Sonic game. Speaking of which, here's a tier list of every mainline Sonic game. This list doesn't have Sonic Frontiers, so just act like it's an S, and I also couldn't remember which advanced game I've played, so I just put 1 and 2 up there. Sonic and the Secret Ring sucks. Not even my nostalgia can save it. I played Sonic Blast on Mega Collection Plus and loved how it looked as a kid. Pretty sure it's actually a bad game, but I liked it. Hate Sonic CD, Lost World, mid. Sonic 1, classic, but mid. Sonic Unleashed for the Wii, loved it. It's probably not as good as I remember though. Sonic 2, classic, but I hate the classic games because when you get a game over, they just say fuck you, and I'm particularly bad with Sonic 2. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is just great, just a better Sonic 2. Sonic Mania is probably the best out of the classic style games. It fixes a lot of issues I have with classic Sonic. Still not like a huge fan of classic Sonic, but they are good games. Sonic Colors is good. People who say that it isn't are just losers. I like the game. I have not played much of Heroes, but what I have played, I really enjoyed it. Even though, yeah, it's way too slippery. Somebody should like make a mod that just makes it tighter to control. SA2 is good. I need to replay it to have a full feeling of it, but from what I remember, it's tolerable. I definitely could have spaced this list out more. Sonic Unleashed is great. Besides the Werehog where it becomes okay, it's just a mid beat 'em up, but the day stages are so good that they carry. Sonic Generations is the most polished Sonic game. It's really fun. I just wish it was longer. That runtime is just too damn short. In between SA1 and Generations, I would put Frontiers. It's just a really solid, fun game. It's not super polished, but it's polished enough to make it really good. The Super Sonic fights are the coolest thing to come out of the Sonic franchise ever. They are so fucking cool. The ending fight sucks though. I did not want to play Galaga in my Sonic game. Sonic, while having some misses, when it hits hard. I think the most fitting thing to end this video on is talking about Sonic's presence on the internet, more specifically Sonic on YouTube. There are some absolute classic Sonic YouTube series. Sonic Zombies, Sonic Paradox, Christmas with Sonic, absolute classics. My friends and I rewatched all of Christmas with Sonic last year. It was really fun. Probably gonna end up doing it again this year. You have all-time classics like Sonic Numa Numa, Sonic vs. Rainbow Dash, the Sonic Toast Mario and Sonic stop motion animations, Ask the Sonic Heroes, 2 Sonics 1 Cake, all of the Back to Soul Sonic videos, Sonic stop motion animated, and the GOAT, Nazo Unleashed. Or is it Nazo? I think it's Nazo Unleashed. Whatever. Sonic has had a very long history on YouTube. Learning that some of my friends watched these same Sonic videos I did when I was a kid is such a cool feeling. And that wouldn't be possible without YouTube and the Sonic fan base. Sonic the Hedgehog is probably one of, if not my favorite series. It has had an insane impact on me as a person. I genuinely mean it when I say I wouldn't be the same person without Sonic. I wouldn't be on YouTube if it wasn't for Sonic. I genuinely cannot imagine myself without this stupid cartoon hedgehog. So why do I love Sonic the Hedgehog so much? It's because I wouldn't be me without him. Holy shit, that was so corny. The real reason is that I'm probably just autistic.